In a small village near a deep green forest, there lived a 10-year-old boy named Leo. He had bright brown eyes, messy black hair, and a small wooden backpack that he carried everywhere. Leo loved adventures. While other children played games in the village square, Leo climbed hills, followed butterflies, and explored tiny rivers. But Leo was not brave because he wanted treasure or fame. He wanted to help people. Every night, Leo's grandmother told him stories beside the warm fire. True heroes, she always said softly, do not fight for gold. They help others, even when they are afraid. Leo never forgot those words. One cold evening, the wind blew hard across the village. The trees danced wildly, and dark clouds covered the moon. The villagers hurried into their homes. "Storm tonight," said the baker. "Very strong storm," said the farmer. Leo sat near the window, listening to the wind howl like a wolf. Suddenly, knock, knock, knock. Someone was hitting the village bell. The villagers rushed outside with lanterns. An old traveler stood near the bell tower. His clothes were wet from rain, and his hands were shaking. "Please help me," he said weakly. "My granddaughter is trapped inside the Whispering Forest." The villagers gasped. The Whispering Forest was the most feared place near the village. People said strange sounds came from the trees at night. Some believed magical creatures lived there. Others believed travelers disappeared forever inside the dark woods. "No one enters that forest after sunset," whispered a woman. "It is too dangerous," said another man. The old traveler looked around desperately. "My granddaughter Lily went searching for our lost dog this morning," he explained. "She never came back." The village became silent. Nobody wanted to enter the forest during the storm. Leo looked at the frightened faces around him. Then he stepped forward. "I will help her," he said quietly. The villagers stared at him. "You are only a child," cried the baker. "The forest is dangerous," shouted someone else. Leo's grandmother gently held his shoulder. Her eyes were worried but proud. "Why do you want to go?" she asked softly. Leo looked toward the dark forest. "Because Lily is alone," he answered. For a moment nobody spoke. Then his grandmother smiled sadly and gave him a small silver compass. "This belonged to your grandfather," she said. "It always points toward hope." Leo carefully placed the compass inside his pocket. The old traveler knelt beside him. "Thank you, brave boy," he whispered. Soon Leo prepared for the journey. He packed bread, water, a lantern, and a rope. The rain became heavier as he walked toward the forest entrance. The trees stood tall like giant shadows. The wind whispered through the branches. "Huh, huh." Leo swallowed nervously. He was scared, very scared. But he remembered his grandmother's words. True heroes help others, even when they are afraid. Taking a deep breath, Leo stepped into the Whispering Forest. The path was muddy and slippery. Rain dripped from leaves onto his head. Crack! A branch snapped somewhere behind him. Leo quickly turned around. Nothing. Only darkness. He held the lantern tighter. As he walked deeper into the forest, strange whispers floated through the trees. "Leo, go home. You are too small." Leo's heart beat faster. The stories were true. The forest really whispered. But then he noticed something strange. The whispers sounded sad. Not evil. Sad. He continued walking carefully. After some time he found small footprints in the mud. A child's footprints. "Lily!" Leo called loudly. Only thunder answered him. Boom! Suddenly he heard barking. Woof! Woof! Leo followed the sound through thick bushes and twisted trees. Finally, he saw a tiny white dog trapped between fallen branches. "Oh no," Leo whispered. The dog whimpered pitifully. Its paw was stuck. Leo placed down his lantern and carefully lifted the heavy branches. Rain soaked his clothes and mud covered his shoes. After much effort, the dog finally escaped. Woof! The little dog happily licked Leo's hand. "You must be Lily's dog," Leo smiled. The dog barked and began running deeper into the forest. "Wait!" Leo shouted. The dog stopped and looked back, almost like it wanted Leo to follow. Maybe it knew where Lily was. Leo hurried after it. The storm grew stronger. Lightning flashed across the sky. The forest looked alive in the white light. Soon the dog stopped near a steep hill. At the bottom of the hill was a broken wooden bridge above a rushing river. Leo's eyes widened. The bridge looked dangerous. Very dangerous. Then he heard a faint voice. "Help!" Leo looked across the river. A little girl stood under a tree, hugging herself tightly. "Lily!" he shouted. The girl looked up in surprise. "You came for me?" she cried. Leo nodded quickly. "Don't move. I'll help you." But the bridge creaked loudly. The wood was old and wet from rain. Leo carefully stepped onto the bridge. Creak! The river roared beneath him. Cold water crashed against the rocks. Halfway across. Snap! One rope broke. The bridge swung violently. Leo grabbed the ropes tightly. His lantern fell into the river below. Splash! Now only lightning lit the darkness. Lily covered her mouth in fear. "Leo!" she screamed. Leo's hand shook. The bridge could break at any moment. He looked down at the raging river. Then he looked at Lily. She was cold, frightened, and alone. Leo took a deep breath. One careful step. Then another. The bridge groaned beneath him. Finally, he jumped forward and landed safely on the other side. Lily ran toward him immediately. "You really came," she whispered. "Of course," Leo smiled weakly. The little dog barked happily and jumped around them. But suddenly, a loud growl echoed through the forest. Grrr! Leo and Lily froze. Two glowing eyes appeared between the trees. Then another. And another. Something was watching them in the darkness.